I know you're like, what is this bag of goodness? We're gonna show you. So we thought it would be fun to have some Cutie Games, to give some games for you to use with your littles while you're at home during this quarantine season. We would love to hear your ideas. Any ideas that you have, just put them in the comments. We also will have all our games available for download. You just have to click the link below and let's have some fun. Let's get started. So the first game we're gonna play is the Cutie Toss. It's kind of like horseshoes or ring toss, something like that. But we have our Cutie spin on it, which is super fun. So all you need is paper and pencil, or you can download our printable and some tape and then some Cutie products. Some ones that we kind of recommend would be some Cutie bracelets or some Cutie bands, or if all you have is some Cutie packs, these work as well. You just have to make sure your papers are taped down to the floor really well. As you can see, we have a printable, so you can either print it, like I said, you could make your own circles. One thing to remember is the smaller the circle, the larger the number. It's kind of like skee ball, so it really depends how you want to put it out. There's not a right or wrong way. I know my girls like skee ball, so you could, put your pieces of paper in that way, or you could be totally random. So basically now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some tape and tape these to the floor. So remember, you have kids. To set those rules before you start. I know me with Ryan, Rose, and older kids, I might make the game a little challenging. I might move a little farther back. And of course for younger kids, I might move it a little bit forward. Also, the items you use are going to make it either easy or hard. Pats are definitely challenging. They're gonna bounce and they're gonna roll, but Cutie bracelets or Cutie bands are a little bit easier. You also, before you start, want to make sure you know how many chances do you get, and then whether you have little kids you might say, hey, if it just touches that, then you get the point. Bigger kids, you might say it has to land and stay there. So just a reminder, I know I have kids who like to change the rules, okay, Ryan, Rose, so make sure you set those rules before you start. So I'm going to choose 4, and I'm going to do both to kind of give you an example. So I'm going to do 4 Cutie bracelets and 4 Cutie pats and just kind of see how many points I can get. Points. Oh my goodness. I would love to know your highest score because Lindsay was on the struggle bus. So let me know your high score in the comments, or you can DM me because I want to know. It's harder than it looks. Okay. Cutie Bowling. How cute are these Cutie tinsels as bowling pins? Hello. So basically it's really easy. All you need is Cutie tinsels and either a Cutie bit or a Cutie pat. And of course, if you don't have a Cutie pat or Cutie bit and you only have tinsels, you could use a piece of paper. But it's really very easy. We recommend when you're setting it up, start with 1, then 2, 3, and then 4. And if you have more tinsels, you can keep on going. We recommend using a Cutie bit or a Cutie pat, and basically you're going to roll twice and see how many bins you can knock down, and then you're gonna keep track. So depending on how many people are playing, we recommend doing 8 rounds. At the end of that 8 round, see who has the most points, and that's the winner. Another thing to think about is if, depending on the kid that's playing, if you want to give them bonus points if they get a spare, or bonus points if they get a strike, you could totally do that. You could do like 2 points or 5 points, but we're gonna leave that up to you. But I'm gonna show you the difference if I roll with a Cutie pat versus a Cutie pat. Cutie pat or a Cutie bit. So first I'm gonna start with a Cutie bit. All right, you ready? I'm nervous. Oh! I can do this. I can do this. All right, now I'm gonna try it with the Cutie pat. All right. It's harder than it looks. Okay. Yeah! Shell's gonna play, and so she's gonna see if she's better than me, because she probably is. Let's see. Ready? Yep. Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
Still got one more.
Oh, I'll give her a chance.
She killed me. The next game is Cutie Matching. Charlie loved this game. Like, I'm telling you, she loved it. You could definitely change it based off the kid, based off the age. I know Ryan Rose would love to be timed, so she wants to match them and see if she can get to eat the fastest. Charlie just loved to put them together and then put them on their wrist. So you can create your own rules if you need them to put them back in sets, if you need to categorize them, or if you want them to put them on the wrist. So if Ryan Rose was playing this game, she would definitely want to be timed. So I would definitely pull your stopwatch on your phone and kind of create some rules. Some other things to think about is depending on your child. Charlie, do you want them to put them on their wrist? Do you want them to stack them up? I think another fun thing is once they stack them or put them on the wrist, they have to spin around and clap 5 times. So let them create the rules. Let them be creative. Of course, set the rules before you start. But yeah, it's just a fun. Other ways you could do, things you could do with this is counting if you have a preschool age child. But there's a lot of fun things you could do with bracelets. So let's time me and see how fast I can get it. Oh, I'm a little dizzy. Woo! Oh my gosh, I really am dizzy. That was really fun. 24 seconds and 24 seconds. I could improve. I need to improve. Maybe I need to try that again. Cutie Bullseye. This one's pretty self-explanatory, kind of like darts. I think the thing to remember before you start is set your rules. How many rounds do you want to have? How many items do you want your kids to be able to throw? I'm going to show you cutie bracelets and cutie bands. I've chosen 5 and 5, and I'm going to show you the different techniques. But again, if you don't have either, you could use ponytail holders or anything that you could find in your home. The Cutie Bullseye is downloadable. It's in a PDF, so all you have to do is click below to download, and you can print it off and let your kids have a lot of fun. Here, you, of course, the wider, the easier it is, the lesser points you get, and then of course, it's harder, so you get more points. One thing to remember is before you start, make sure you kind of set the rules, how far back you want to go. With older kids, you might go farther back, and with the younger ones, you might go a little closer. I'm going to show you first with the cutie bracelets. One thing to do is when the other person isn't going, I would have them be the counters. So the last game is kind of like horse, if you remember playing it as a kid, like a basketball game. Instead of horse, we're gonna spell cutie. So depending if you have 2 players or 3 players, you could use the same color, cutie pat, or you could use different ones to speed up the game. And then I have different size buckets for you to try, depending on what you have at home and how hard you wanna make it. This one would be easier, and of course these would be a little bit harder. But yeah, we're gonna play horse. So in horse, for example, I'm gonna say we're playing with 2 people. The first person's gonna shoot, and if they make it, the next person has to shoot from here and do the exact same thing. If that person misses it, they gotta see. And then the person who shot first goes again. So I might do something crazy like, be like, you have to go under your leg. Oh, I missed it. So the next person gets a turn, and then if they make it, then I have to do what they did. Again, this game is gonna be downloadable, so you just have to click the link below. The first person to get the full word cutie is the loser. Let us know if you have questions, and let us know how much you enjoyed this game. Let's play cutie.
Ooh. So when do you get to see?
I get to see. Oh. Oh. See.
Now you both have a see.
Okay. The last one. Yeah. Were you right-handed or left-handed? Right. Oh! I lost. Cutie, cutie, cutie.